last time.
Yeah, and rightfully so. Vertigo, FURIA, MIBR goes. We're going to kick things off. Harry, Hugo, and myself. Let's get it on.
Time to start the party, Trace.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, and the party's getting started fast by MIBR. Henny not able to win that fight. Vinny at least keeps us into a 4-on-4. Yuri and Art are both aggressing down through mid, but it might not matter. Fallen has opened up this A bomb site, and now they turn their attention toward the flank. Art does deal with Fallen. Mayan almost gets caught out there. KNG coming in on a very, very long rotation in through the back line of B. He's the man responsible for dealing with K-Serato, and he's just missed both timings here, him and Taco. Taco's actually going to B, and that's all helped by KNG clearing this earlier on. And he does now mop up K-Serato, not able to get away from Yuri, and this leaves Taco in the 1v2. Bomb planted, and he's going to try and force these fights over in CT, and that's a decision he comes to regret, as both Yuri and Art are able to deal with him. Defuse comes in, and pistol round will go the way of FURIA.
Yeah, well, that was a nice play for MIBR, right? To have KNG cut off rotate, to have Taco bait FURIA into an aggressive rotation. KNG, man, he misses his shot on the second player. Voice, and MIBR are going to get to direct the pace he can do.
Let's have an eye on it. Lock it on right here, Harry.
Ooh, Taco trying to abuse these smokes that are down here at the ramp. If you're MIBR, you're very, very happy that FURIA are taking these early fights, because this is where the Kriegs really can do their best work. FURIA now on the back of spotting this buy. I don't imagine we're going to see too many aggressive peaks come through. They still have this double setup over here at the top of ramp. Taco trying to test the waters. There is a Molotov on MIBR, and he is now joining the rest of the gang at ramp, so he could potentially deal with this sandbags player. Henny allowed to just swing out. MIBR still at the back of the ramp, not going to get here in time with that Molotov. Maybe not even going to get a chance to use it, as everyone gets shut down on the
5Ks, 4Ks, 3Ks, 2Ks, and then if there are players with the same, and I think I'm safe in saying it's always for the winning team.
Yeah, I think there was some discussion about it doing for the losing team as well, but
like the simple effect, right?
In terms of storytelling and you know, just following a match, it might be a little hard to do that.
Something else that's cool that happened a little over an hour ago now is that CSGO workshop maps were updated, and that was for Vertigo, Dust 2, Train, Mirage, Overpass, Office, Inferno, Chlorine, and Anubis all received workshop updates.
I wonder if that's
does that mean Source 2, or does it mean Easter decorations?
Easter decorations.
That's the thing. I feel like I've got hype, right? When you see 1 or 2 changes are made, it can typically be so small, right? Like lighting changes, just tiny little things. But when you have like 6 or 7 active duty maps getting changed, or well, no, what was that? 5 active duty maps getting changed. That's when you know it's getting interesting, because something big is happening here in the works. And not just for Valve, but for MIBR too. Into their first full rifle round in number 4, and they look to take control towards middle. Taco's lost his life early down the A ramp with an aggressive peek from Yuri. And MIBR are going to look to push the boundaries here up in middle. Grenades coming through, utility to cut off the CT choke point. Yuri's pushed, and this shot from Henny, he'll get a kill and bail, and they'll get baited into Yuri, who should be able to find another. This could be a great setup from FURIA. Only the tag, not what he wanted, but they can still make the best of a bad situation.
Yeah, Yuri's about to light him up. You can just feel it right here on the edge of your tongue. He is set up in a really good position. Now, they are not electing to go up the scaffolding into the short area, but that's when Yuri's going to be making his move.
Hello.
He's one. Has a lineup of at least 4, and Fur is too quick on the trigger.
Good damage, though. I mean, look at the health here for MIBR.
The team that went on to win the map kept the other team from winning a single round.
Game.
You look at Inferno and Mirage, too, though. I mean, it's something where
it heard by the B players. Art comes in to assist.
Yeah, look at this. Art, right place, right time, but is he going to have the right indications? Vinny and Yuri doing exactly what they have to do in the meantime. Wasn't a whole lot of investment here in this round for MIBR. 3 players alive, make it just 2. We're looking at an M4 and a Deagle left on him, falling down to 10 HP.
Oh.
Smoke hits Taco, and that's about the end of that.
Yeah. Worst part about that is the noise. I mean, the blocking certainly doesn't help, but that just gives away the fact that you are right where they think you are.
Fallen can get a bomb plant here. K-Serato's chance he can get past K-Serato.
And just straight stick it. Let's find out.
Something that I think is going to matter a lot here for MIBR is things, or at least I've been very impressed. Packed in this round, 3 players for FURIA. Going to try and peek down this ramp early on. This is what we kind of see as the bread and butter for most CT side teams, is taking this ramp fight early. You can just wait for tracers through this smoke, and as long as you're not open to the one-ways, there's definitely some favorable fights you can take from here. Art actually shuts down this mid-lurk that MIBR were attempting, or at least one of the 2 prongs on it. Now the rest of the gang get out over here towards ramp, and so suddenly Henny is alone on this A side of the map. He's got players behind him, he's got players in front, he's trying to hide on short side, and that kill onto Taco from Keserato has opened this round back up for Henny. He was pincered, but now he's given a nice little safe hidey hole to hide in. And he's turned this back in favor of FURIA. Fallen, trapped in the bomb site, has to try and fight tooth and nail to keep this one in the advantage of MIBR. They can actually see ahead, but the flashbang is good from Fur, and that allows Fallen to find the double. Now Henny, last man standing. Oh, somehow gets that deke shot through the smoke, but thankfully...
For MIBR, picking up a round does help the case. However, Taco may need to get into the fight. We almost have 2 James Bonds in the server. So let's see what Mayern has up his sleeve. He's going to barrel himself out here towards his B site with Khalil. A little bit of a shoulder peek there off to the side. Now he'll just set himself up.
Every single round, right? No. This is like... I don't know, I guess you could kind of compare it to like Long on Dust 2, something like that, right? Like a good spot to go to take a pick. And we're going to see that from Henny. He gets Molotov'd out here, and that will finish him off from behind the sandbags. Taco opens up onto Art, and now Yuri's got his work cut out for him. Is good for 1, but Fur, aggressing up through the ramp, puts up a 2nd in this round, and now is trying to keep FURIA out of this retake, but that is a good nade from Vinny. And Fur was the only man in the site. The other 2 players now coming up through short. Maya trying to give them a bit more stake in this round. Vinny holding for the cross, and he does best. Fallen Maya, and 0-6 on the board, has his chance to put up his first kill in this round. He's going to need 2 if MIBR want their 2nd on the board. And with 10 seconds left, FURIA are playing this perfectly. They're not giving up these fights. Mayern's going to stick the plant, and no time anyway. Mayern
he lost, so... Yeah, I mean, great round for Vinny, impact player there for FURIA. And you talk about mid, I feel like, yeah, okay, it's good, easy to say it's, you know, quote unquote useless, but, you know, sometimes that works against CT teams where they discount that position and you have a late lurk. If you manage to get that A plant, a mid flank is so good. And I feel like we don't see that abused enough by teams. You don't need 5 players on the ramp, but maybe you do if you're MIBR, because they are getting slaughtered in this forced by round.
Because he knows he's going to burn. Well, if he can get another kill there, that certainly does help the odds of just retaking the site and maybe even thwarting a plant there if you're FURIA.
He even tagged Fur through the sandbags, or through the wall rather, down to 20 past his first kill. So yeah, I mean, he has more than enough impact there with the AWP, as is tradition for Henny. Mayern 0-8. Henny pushed back in this round. MIBR lose that early fight. FURIA in a great position now. This A site has been rinse repeated by MIBR and not to great success. That's a good Molotov. It forces Yuri back, but you can see he's hanging around. He wants to go in the position MIBR assume is clear because he has a smoke down, and that's going to delay MIBR further into this short angle.
So we get a grenade out here. It should do some damage to Taco. Not a whole lot, though. Meanwhile, one of those weird sort of one-way setups. I do love that smoke.
Yeah. Art makes the most of it as well. That's a bomb dropped. He should get seen here by Fallen coming up with the AWP, but Taco's gone in the meantime, and so Fallen alone in a 1-on-5 and doesn't even get a kill.
That I do believe they ended up actually, yeah, they did second half. They go, 10 T rounds to the 3 of Swole Patrol. So they kind of have an indication how they want to play this map, but FURIA, well, they're just simply playing it better. They're playing into it right now.
Yeah, and considering FURIA is so good on those T sides, right? CT is often weaker for these guys. The fact that they're this far up right now doesn't bode well for MIBR. Now, the B push could, as they overwhelm the only man inside of the site. Vinny and Keserato have been removed from this round, and despite the fact that his pistol's on 3, guns have been retrieved by 2. MIBR, oh dear, to the scroll wheel, the jump for Fallen. He gets caught out, and FURIA a chance to retake now. Harry's smiling as he realized that he thinks Spacebar is superior. He couldn't be further from the truth.
What a disgusting
young man. Let's wait and see. Spacebar versus scroll wheel, and Fur, He's trying to go up and up in this round, but Henny does deal with him. Taco brought down low, 1 bullet away from certain death, but he takes a man down with him. Doesn't matter, because Yuri's clutched this one out. It's going to be close, but he's got the defuse. Furia, a 9th on the board. MIBR, they get it close, but that was just pistols. Important to bear in mind, and really one of the first times we've seen MIBR throw one of these, I say like proper B executes. It was pretty much just heads-up fights into the B bomb site. Yeah. So, MIBR haven't really had much that we can look at and say this round, but perhaps something to come as we continue into this game.
I'd like to see them just take mid with heavy numbers, 3 players, and just leave a man there. Like, get the toolbox control, leave a player there, and then go back into anything. B or A. You have this mid lurk, and that can be so valuable, but right now they're just piling into the B site, and Vinny's dropping them both. Man falls back off the top of the stairs. MIBR down a man in this round, first tagged up as well. There's so much utility, so may as well make the most of it for MIBR rather than just taking these fights that aren't working out for you. Mayan's going to fall out of B, go back to join his team.
Turn around and look towards this A site. Bomb firmly in the hands of Fur, who's currently on 42 HP. Looks like we're going to get a bit of a spot here over this box. Nope, run boost, straight up. They're going to do it. They're going to do it with style. And he falls, and that leaves a 3 versus 3. Now with this A site somewhat compromised, it's going to be Yuri here on the rotate. He's going to be the first one on the action.
Yeah, important to note, these are the first 2, now 3 kills for Mayan in this game. And he's done everything in this round pretty much single-handedly, with the addition of the run boost. Fur has been pretty instrumental, actually, in helping him get these kills. But Mayan almost in for the ace. He goes from being 0 and 10 down to now 4 to 11. But this is where, that pistol round, Furia don't actually have anyone in B.
Yeah. Bomb now knows that's going to be traversing its way back through. Looks like they want to take a peek, at least look through the window. And again, in a round with pistols over here for Furia, you can't have expected a whole lot. Fur doing what he has to do. 3 kills with this AK. Yeah, that's going to be a bomb plan on the B site.
Just cutting off rotations. Furia can't get back towards B with Fur in the middle, and that is the value of having that control, right? Not only backstabbing, it does work. He's got 3 kills in this round, and KNG is looking for Dem Eeks.
Dem Eeks, shout out NAF. Look at this, they're crawling around looking for him, and, well, snooze you lose. KNG falls. There's be a couple weapons taken out of MIBR's hand going in the next round. But
they get away with the Krieg. It's all good, all things considered. Fur boosted from the B bomb site, goes and gets 3 kills in this round up in middle. That likely lose all faith.
There's 102 ADR on Taco, Mayan, and KNG combined. Cool. There's 200 on Fallen and Fur combined. So almost double that of the next 3 on the scoreboard. I think all it's going to take for MIBR to get back into this game is either Taco, KNG, or Mayan to just play the level of CS we're used to seeing from these guys. You've already got Fur and Fallen doing a lot of damage. Fur's looked great in pretty much every series for MIBR. And Fallen, with his damage stats being so high, his kills not really put him by the day. KNG is like stellar, and definitely someone who could go toe-to-toe with a man like Henny. So let's see if MIBR can turn this around.
Oh, Yuri, he wants to glaive this bad boy. He wants to push through the smoke, and he's sitting very, very close to it. Utility coming up for MIBR, but that's a great shot from Taco through the smoke. Can't even see him, but he gets the advantage. Traded not coming through, actually, Art. Puts KNG on 1 HP, and Vinny will finish off the job. He now has to hold the line as the only man inside of the site, push through the smoke, and he'll regret that decision. Fallen puts him away, and a 4-on-2. This should be a guaranteed round for MIBR. We might even just see the straight-up save from Furia, as Henny on the orb was in the B site. The wrong place, the wrong time, and the 4th round taken by the T side.
Economy, there's a really good, I say new economy,
yeah,
right? It's pretty old at this point, but...
Can't even remember the LG winning majors, moving over against tier 1 opposition, I think is impressive. And they want to do more than that, Trace. They want to win championships. And here at the Pro League, there's always a chance here as they sit in the top 4 of North America.
Yeah, and that's the thing about MIBR, right? Is I think, too, you look at expectations from the outside looking in, and you look at these names, you think, okay, these are household names. These guys should have no problem beating up on the opposition. Well, guess what? The game changes.
Yeah.
Things change around the game. Things change in the game. They are never going to have that sort of... Yeah, people change. They're never going to have that sort of, I guess, static way of looking at this.
Yeah, I mean, you know, of course you're going to be hungrier before you've achieved something rather than after you have. But let's move back into the game as the pause is counter-called to an end. Yuri, again, in this position and finding a lot more value than last time. They do peek him, they do fight him, and he will fight them right back. 3 kills through the top side as Fur is left in a 1-on-5. Fury, if they put these final 2 rounds and a half, MIBR are going to be in a world of hurt.
It smells like it already. Fur, the only one left alive in a 1v4. He's going to try to back out of here, switches out for a Krieg, but I think he has no idea about this man known as K-Serrato. The off angle he's holding with the SMG doesn't even clear it all the way. Doesn't go that far into the rabbit hole. Instead, he finds himself stuck here. The bottom of a ramp.
When will K-Serrato pull the trigger, though? When will he finally decide to move out of this little corner and start hunting? I imagine it'll be when Fur gives away some info. And with 20 seconds left to K-Serrato, you may as well just go now. There's no time to go B. Fur has to commit. He's been spotted. He's been dealt with. And that's a free Krieg for Yuri. Impact play.
Papa Henning. But this right here, this was a good little hold, a cheeky hold, I think is what you guys called it. That might even be a Mountain Dew Game Fuel power play. We don't know. Don't want to give any spoilers, but there's a real chance, Harry Russell.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've had good moments already, and I'm sure we're going to get even more as this series continues to deliver. Mayan going to get naded down over here towards the B ramp. That's enough to deter him from pushing for the time being. Fallen, however, is unperturbed by the nades and sees this as more of a challenge than a warning sign. He's going to try and peek on up with Mayan alongside him, but with the Kriegs here holding this tiny little angle, it's a bit of a death sentence, rather, for MIBR. Fallen gets caught running in with his back turned. Art has even spotted KNG now, does try and take that fight, and will come to regret it.
Very curious of the idea right there for Fallen. Really did full send it. Either way, this one's about to be sent into a halftime break. We got 2 players alive here for MIBR. K-Serrato is going to have the drop on KNG with ease. That just leaves Fur to his own. AK in hand, bomb in hand. 15 frags on the board. But a long way to go in this round. Under a minute. It's possible, but I don't want to say it's going to happen.
Yeah, K-Serrato, the awareness on him to be holding the flank there is ridiculous.
At odds, and you might say, hey, those look very familiar. Well,
Vertigo as well, looking at how tall this building is. Well, Maya needs to go above and beyond. It's a fake on B. FURIA run up the stairs and they drop back, deploying a play, but they're getting chased. KNG knows it's a fake and he's done some damage. FURIA committing into the stack now. MIBR, what do they want to do? The smokes are down. It might just be a retake setup, but they know exactly what's going on at the very least.
Yeah, we're looking at the bomb plan here for the side of FURIA, and it's going to come in here. Perhaps Taco can find Vinny afterwards. Vinny playing it real safe.
I like this play. You may as well have one man be a sacrificial lamb in the site, right? Go for the fight with the Glock. The flash is in, Taco's out. Art does find him, and Vinny follows up inside of the smoke. It's a mess. Wow. It's a massacre, and it is MIBR going down and maybe out in their map pick. Fallen's the last of Fallen. It's FURIA.
Bomb down, and then before you know it, we had a little bit of a shooting gallery at the A-site corral. Meanwhile, I mean, for MIBR, it's going to be the bounce back. You want to talk about refreshing things. Now, we knew that the numbers seemed a little close, so we went ahead and refreshed them for you all. And still, FURIA creating a distance here, creating a gap. Now it's much, much larger than when we started, Harry.
Yeah, no, and you know, justifiably so, right? This is a huge advantage to have on your map, on your opponent's map pick. And if they're able to take it this dominantly, FURIA might be set up nicely. Art's just missed the timing there, but the Molotov...
I swore he saw his feet.
Yeah, I think he did. And he tries to molly it, and that's at least forced them a... Oh, hang on. This is not a great fight for Taco to be taken here.
But he wants it.
Yeah, short side now taken by FURIA. MIBR going to group up over towards this topper ramp side, and they get cut down one by one. It's Yuri and Art to secure the A side of the map. MIBR, this has got to be a save, right? You're not even going to risk giving this one a look in. You're going to take whatever you can get your hands on into this next round. So 13-4 in favor of FURIA.
You're not going to have too many saves left in the bank. So we're starting to creep towards the end of this first map. Ooh, absolutely planted. Fur. Just leaves Marin on his own. and he's going to go ahead and try to hold on to this Deagle and this head armor.
Take this series 2-0 on what is not a completely different set of maps, right? But like an extra map throw to turn this around and get it done in 2. You will be solidifying yourself, at least for the time being, as the best team in Brazil in a lot of people's eyes. You know, showing that you've got the depth in your map pool. It doesn't have to be those same 3 maps again. And the fact that you're able to get it done in 2 as opposed to 3 would just be quite the statement by FURIA. And this is very, very one-sided thus far. There's no money for MIBR in this round. They went for the 4 spy in the 1 prior. And so this should be FURIA moving to 14, unless MIBR are able to do something spectacular with these pistols. And that could have been a start. Both players were blind, though, and Art comes out on top.
It's not been the calmest of waters here for the side of MIBR, and well, KNG had an idea. He starts to get some shots down range. Lo and behold, and he's just too fast. And in fact, they're going to get eaten alive here in the scaffold.
Yeah, this spot Art's playing is pretty great. Like, it allows you to duck on down, and if they start to tag you through the railing, it takes a ludicrous amount of shots to kill someone there. So, pretty broken angle, and Art uses it against them, and you love to see that. Maya now the last man standing. And now they know where he is. And this should just be a formality. How expensive can Maya make it? The answer is not. Full round, they're probably taking this first map here and now on the back of it.
And that was a danger, right? With MIBR not getting those last 2 rounds of the half, make it a 9-6, not having a buffer, and not having anything to fall back on. MIBR winning 37, FURIA with even less, and that shows, you know, kind of a crazy storyline considering FURIA dominated this first half of play.
Yeah, it's quite the disparity between the two. And that is really what shows you the difference. We're looking at rifles out for the side of MIBR now. This is a real shot to stay in this game, but it's going to be a long, long climb up that mountain. Currently down by 10 rounds.
There'll be any hope for MIBR. No AWP in this round either, so they've got to get it done with the flat rifles. Art's going to look to force fights, and he does towards the short side. Taco dead, Fallen gone. KNG, the only man left on this site. Does hold his own with 1, but the HP is so low. Flash to try and force more for caught on rotation. And MIBR just 2 deaths away from falling out of this map, more likely than not, rather. Mayan is on a long rotate, not even going to get a chance to play this round as Henny.
Hell of a lot from them. And, you know, like, I feel like delivering to that, leveling this squad up from kind of the not the bottom again, that's kind of the wrong way of looking at it, but, you know, like, just trying to rebuild the foundations. You're not just going off of what worked before. I think for the longest time, that's a good nade. For the longest time, MIBR were trying to keep the same system in place and just changing a player. And I don't think that works. I think, you know, we're seeing like a pretty big restructuring of MIBR.
Well, there's a lot of teams that have tried that, where they just, okay, we can hot swap one player for another player. Yeah. It's simply not netting the results, or doesn't net the results unless the system is already in place for it.
It's always been the go-to, right? For any team that had like an era to try and keep it going, you think about like NIP, you think about VP, you think about, you know, MIBR now. I think that's why Astralis are pretty smart with this 6-man rotation. You know, I think they're planning ahead to have to deal with that. But let's focus on this round, because it just might be the last of this map. Fallen and Taco to try and keep the dream alive for MIBR, and it doesn't happen. Yuri shuts them both down. FURIA take MIBR's map pick in a very, very dominant fashion.